Good afternoon. It's 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time on November 5th, 2023. This is President Charity Colleen Crouse. How are you today? I want to introduce you to some of my family. I'm very fortunate that today I was able to accomplish my mission. The women and children have returned. First, let me remind you that on September 21st of 2021, there were 3 books that were placed in the formal room. The main room of the location. 2 had been in one cabinet, the other had been in another cabinet. I call these cabinets dowry chests. Within 72 hours of what occurred, those books were removed from the dowry chest and they were placed in the main room for a specific reason. The name of those books was Flags of Our Fathers. Now, that book was used in a series of movies that were produced by Clint Eastwood regarding the Battle of Iwo Jima. The first movie was to be from the American perspective, and the second movie was to be from the perspective of the Japanese. I was never able to see those movies. I couldn't find anyone that was willing to go see them with me. But that book, Flags of Our Fathers, was based on another book, this book right here. This book features personal testimonials of both American soldiers and Japanese soldiers that fought at the Battle of Iwo Jima. I was able to acquire this book today. Hello, honey. How are you? Long time. I haven't seen you. Yes, I read the secondary source, but I'm glad to get you back. But that's not all. How fortunate we are to have friends. This right here is a book that was produced in the opening of the United States Air Force Museum. Our children's teams went to visit them for some amount of time. Let me introduce you to some of our children. First, let us start with the Convair F-106A Delta Dart, United States Air Force. The F-106 was developed from the Convair F-102 Delta Dagger. The F-106 made its first flight on December 26, 1956. Perhaps you're familiar. Hello, Delta Dart. Next, let me introduce you to the Convair F-102A Delta Dagger. Well, hello, Delta Dagger. The F-102 made its initial flight on October 24, 1953, and became operational with the Air Defense Command in 1956. Hello, Delta Dagger. It's good to see you. Next, let me introduce you to the North American F-100C Super Sabre, United States Air Force. It made its initial flight on May 25th, 1953. Interestingly enough, the C on display was named and christened Susan Constant by Lady Churchill, wife of Sir Winston Churchill, in London on May 12, 1957, in commemoration of the 350th anniversary of the founding of Jamestown, Virginia. Well, hello, Super Sabre. Next, let us introduce you to the Douglas X-3 Stiletto. The X-3 made its first test flight at Edwards Air Force Base, California on October 20th, 1952, and flew supersonically in June 1953. Well, hello, Stiletto. Next, let me introduce you to the North American F-86A Sabre. The Sabre first production model flew on May 20th, 1948, and on September 15th, 1948, And F-86A set a new world speed record of 670.9 miles per hour. Well, hello, Saber. Next, let me introduce you to a very special member of the family, the McCoy-Gurevich MiG-15 Faggot. The airplane on display was flown to South Korea on September 21st, 1953, by a defecting North Korean pilot who was given a reward of $100,000. Well, thank you very much. Hello, faggot. Next, another one of our very special children, the Fuji Hikoki MXY-7 Oka suicide bomb. Designed primarily for use against ships, it was particularly effective against U.S. naval forces during the invasion of Okinawa in April 1945. Well, thank you. Hello, Oka, suicide bomb. Next, let me introduce you to somebody very, very important to our family, the Boeing B-29 Super Fortress. The first one built made its maiden flight on September 21st, 1942. Well. Hello, Super Fortress. Next, let me introduce you to another very important member of the family, the Douglas A-26C Invader. The A-26, a follow-up airplane to the A-20 Havoc, made its first flight on July 10, 1942. The A-26 was redesignated the B-26 in 1948. Well. Hello, Invader. Next, another 26er very important to the family, the Martin B-26G Marauder. Although the Marauder did not make its first flight until November 25th, 1940, its design showed such promise that 1,131 B-26s were ordered by the Air Corps in September 1940. Well, thank you very much. Hello, Marauder. Now, of course, we cannot forget about this very important member of the family. Consolidated B-24D Liberator. The B-24 was employed in operations in every combat theater during the war. Because of its great range, it was particularly suited for such missions as the famous raid from North Africa against the oil industry at Ploiești, Romania on August 1st, 1943. Well. Hello, Liberator. And as you can see, another very important member of the family, another 26er, Douglas A-20G Havoc, or as we just learned, the antecedent or ancestor of a 26er. On July 4th, 1942, 6 A-20s flown by American crews of the 15th Bombardment Squadron accompanied 6 flown by British crews on a low-altitude mission against 4 Dutch airfields, the first U.S. daylight bombing raid in Europe. Well. Hello, Havoc. Next, another very important member of the family, another 26er, the Boeing P-26A. Boeing produced a total of 139 P-26s for the Air Corps. In 1940, the P-26 had become obsolete, and the Air Corps transferred many of them to the Panama Canal Zone, Hawaii, and the Philippines. Well. Hello, P-26A. Next, and finally, the first will be the last will be the first. Stop with F1 Camel. The Camel was produced in Great Britain and went into action in July 1917 with the Royal Flying Corps. In the hands of an experienced pilot, it was highly maneuverable, and at its best combat altitude of 12,000 feet, it was very difficult to defeat in a dogfight. It's right here in black and white. This is President Charity Colleen Crouse. I want to thank you very much for bearing witness to this. I hope you have a good day, and I look forward to talking with you very soon.